good old boy, he's got a story to tell. Tavin will mow your grass and make it look so well. Now Tavin goes donut goals when in town he comes, getting strength for his haunches to cannonball for fun. Tavin ramping up the holler, Tavin trying to make a dollar, Tavin.
Welcome to the Tavin Dillard Podcast, y'all guys. I'm Tavin Dillard. This is season 13's episode 2's, the very 2'd episodes of the seasons of the 13s. I got Tavin's Lawn Care Services, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. Welcome in, y'all guys. How's everything with y'all? Well, I gotta let you know this is the week. It's time to sign up for the Tavin Cruise if you ain't yet. We getting the final list this week, so if you're going to do it for the October's cruise, check that link in my show notes today for the Tavin Cruise with Norwegian Cruise Lines. Going to be a hoot in the Octobers. Now, the other thing we got going on before we get started today is the upcoming shows in May. You know, one's about a month away now, Clintwood, Virginia. You'll see the tickets for that show there. And then the other one's May 30th in Sweet Springs, Missouri. Also, if you in Sweet Springs, check out the Laundry Basket. That's my buddy Rick's business there. Him and his wife, they got the Laundry Basket. Boy, it's like the Sutter Me Up of Sweet Springs, Missouri, where you can go to the laundromat and get your stuff all cleaned up and smell so good. And so check that out for the old... The tickets to the show. That's going to be at the link in the show notes today. You can always shoot me a text message, 501-322-6249, or send me an email, tabandillard@gmail.com. Boy, that's some quick housekeeping, ain't it? Cruise, Clintwood, Virginia show, Sweet Springs, Virginia show. And I did a video last week. It's just before the weekend. I did a commercial. You know, I did commercials for businesses around the country. But for a little while, I never just told people. They just found me. But then I thought, well, I'll tell people. That way they know if they need that service, maybe we can figure something out. And I posted a commercial I did for a donut shop up in the Michigan area and let folks know. And I had my that same information I just gave you on that video, which is tabandillard@gmail.com. or my phone number, 501-322-6249. That's how you get in touch if you want to. Really, the email's the easiest to, if you want a quote for your business on me getting a commercial done for you. So that's how that goes. Now, before I get into what I got to talk about today, and there's a lot to talk about, let me put it to you just real quick and simple like that. Thanks for the feedback. I got feedback on the very first episode of season 13, where we had the International Day Fair. Myron Curtis and Mary Beth Tucker, boy, they got no mess of food and just them little white karate outfits. I hope they learned that lesson. You'd think it'd be something they would have thought about beforehand. But, anyhow, they got through it. It ended up being a good day. And I got some, let me see, do I have questions? I answered some last week. Remember that? That was kind of didn't get into the Q&A. Well, there's one more. I know you remember me last week. I was saying, I don't know. Tricia said she sent in a question, and I don't see it. And, and I know you've been probably staying up just wondering, well, hey, what was Tricia's question? Tavin mentioned last week, she had a question, and then he didn't know what it was. And now I don't know if I'm going to get back to sleep till I find out. Well, guess what? She emailed me this past week or so, and saying, oh, here's the question, because it got, I don't know, buried or lost or something, but I didn't know where it was. She resent it. So what better way to kick off today here together, y'all guys, than answer the last remaining question that I found that didn't make it in to the season 12 Q&A. How's about it? All right, here it is. She asked me, if a genie came out of a Dr. Pepper bottle and granted you 3 wishes, what would they be? Well, Tricia, thank you for the question. First question is this a full bottle of Dr. Pepper? And there's a genie get it? Or did I already drink it all and then he magically appear and come out the bottle? Because if he come out of it when I ain't even drank the Dr. Pepper yet, did he have on shoes? I don't want a genie's feet in my Dr. Pepper. I don't even know if I want him with shoes on in my Dr. Pepper. So that's my first concern. If it's a genie that came out of a bottle that I ain't even drank out of it, like I pop it open and he's in there, and it's ice cold and I'm ready to drink it, but all of a sudden I got a genie like out the very tip top of the bottle coming out, and he want to grant me 3 wishes. my first wish would be that there had never been a Genie inside my bottle of Dr. Pepper. That's the first list. But let's say I drank the ice cold Dr. Pepper. I don't know how it works, y'all guys. I didn't go to school for genies, but I'm telling you this. It wouldn't just be as easy as like, oh, you came out the bottle, you're going to offer me 3 wishes. I got a lot more questions for this Genie than he got wishes for me. Okay? I just say it like that. But here's the deal. I drank that ice cold Dr. Pepper. There wasn't no Genie in it at the time. And then as soon as I finished, I guess he appeared and he come out the bottle. And now he ready to, grant 3 wishes to me. That's a little easier for me to take because I didn't see him in the bottle and I didn't, getting his feet in my Dr. Pepper and all that. But I'd say, firstly, I'd ask for another Dr. Pepper, ice cold with no Genie in it. So that's the first wish I'd get. The second, I'd want a plate of fried catfish. And then third, I just want to be able to, every time I cough, that a donut grow out my elbow and I could pull it off and eat it if I wanted to. Now, it'd be rough, if you're having a coughing fit, buddy, you'd be selling them by the dozens, but that wouldn't be a bad thing neither. So that's that, Tricia. That's what I think. That's how I'd handle that. I appreciate the question. Boy's a good one. Boy, got me thinking. I'll tell you that. Now, you probably wondering this week about Myron Curtis. Well, he pretty much recovered from the International Day Fair, or the International Day Unfair, if you know what I mean. It was not kind to Myron's guts, but really what is? Let's be honest. And the other way you could look at it is that Myron wasn't kind to his own guts. Nobody was shoveling all that international food down his mouth. That was Myron's choice. Nobody made him pile on all that food. I get it. You want to try everything, okay, but it's okay to pace yourself, Myron. It's okay to leave with a to-go container. You can try that later. You ain't got to eat it all on the same day you bought it. That's why they came up with refrigerators and microwaves and them things that we didn't have, 500 years ago. 500 years ago, you had an International Day Fair. Firstly, there probably ain't a lot of different folks. It probably ain't too international. So that it'd be kind of a short fair with maybe a couple booths and like your mama's at one of them and the food she make. But B, you'd eat it right there. You would, Myron, and you couldn't take it home to a microwave or a refrigerator, so you'd want to do it like that way. But we ain't 500 years ago, so you could have paced yourself with that to-go container. That's what ends up happening. You run the risk of not wanting to eat that food again because it tore you up, but maybe it was because the 9th thing you ate that day, Myron, was about 8 too many. You know what I mean? Like, you just had it at the wrong time and your guts wasn't ready, but it wasn't the food, it's the way you shovel it down your pie hole. So put the blame wherever you want, or don't blame anybody. It is what it is, but I can tell you this much. Myron did not go to work on that Monday. That's right. Old Bean Dip called in sick for driving that snack delivery truck. That's what he do for a living. Bean Dip's what they call Myron. I call him Myron, but that's his nickname, Bean Dip. So the elementary school, they had a talent show this past week. How did I know? Because, I ain't got an elementary school kid, and I ain't an elementary school kid. I done did my time there. So how did I know? Well, I happened to be in a local dining joint in town called the Burger Shed. That's right. That's the one. You know what I'm talking about. Bud owns it. You may know Bud also sponsors my adult softball league team. And the season, Peekaboo, is cranking up. Well, Russell Tucker wants to meet soon to talk about all that. Like he wanted to get together. He mentioned me the other day. Hey, we want to talk about the seasons coming up, see who we got, who we don't got. He basically the coach. But that ain't what I'm getting at today. What I'm getting at today does involve Russell Tucker. Like I said, I was in the Burger Shed, okay? Picture me there. Got that? I went straight chocolate shake only today. Okay, so I wasn't in there for nothing else. I wasn't messing around. Decided I wanted chocolate shake. You know how sometimes you just going throughout your day or maybe even your week and you say, on Friday, I'm going to get this thing. Or you just say, this day I'm going to do this. I don't do this all the time. I don't do this every week. I don't even do this every month, but I'm getting this thing today. You know how it is. You got a little extra jangle in your pocket, or maybe you don't, but you just skipping lunch and you're going straight chocolate shake. Don't matter no how. All I'm saying is the only reason I'm in the Burger Shed is to get a chocolate shake. Hello. So I'm there with a shake, and Russell Tucker's checking his wristwatch for the time, like he's got somewhere to be. Turns out the reason how come he's acting that way is because he do have somewhere to be. He wasn't just acting like that. Russell says, I got to get over to the schoolhouse, Tavin. I said, they having a fire drill? I'm not sure why I asked that. I don't think they'd call Russell over if they was having a fire drill. It was just the first thing that popped into my head at the time. So that's what I said. Not always the best idea, but it was like neither here nor there, as they say in Spain. I don't know what they say in Spain. Anyways, he said, no, it's a talent show, Tavin. Worse than a fire drill. I was like, worse? He said, yeah, you never know what's going to happen, even if they say they got a plan. Usually my kid's thing is a few minutes long, but you can't stand up and leave right after your own kid is done. You got to sit through the whole thing, baton twirling, solos, river dances, juggling. I was like, that sounds pretty entertaining, Russell, truth be told. He kind of looked at me like, what in the world, Tavin? He didn't say that. Russell didn't say that, but that's the way he looked at me. He gave me a what in the world look to my face. I had a little break in the day, and I figured it can't be near as bad as what Russell says, never is, so I volunteered to go with him. So we do. Now, I didn't know that the elementary school invited different businesses in the community, but they did. So Maggie from Maggie's Flowers is there. Bud's wife is there. That's Anita. I guess Bud had to stay and run the burger shed. We just seen him down there anyhow. Coach Hicks was there from Thunder Punch. That's the boxing gym in town. Kevin Rickards was there from Rickards Grocery Store. The place they are having the talent show is the same place they eat at the elementary school. You know about that? Like, I guess the school and the nursing home set up pretty similar, really. The mess hall, both places, doubles as a place they have your big events. You know, if you got like a talent show or some sort of contest or some sort of big arts and crafts night, you know, you kind of move the tables around to accommodate whatever that thing is. Apparently the talent show at the elementary school is a big event. Like lots of parents, lots of kiddos, because not every kid's in the talent show, you know about that? So they got classes that are sitting in the audience, they ready to cheer for their classmates or whatever, they friends or they little brothers or their big sisters or that kind of thing. You know how families work and schools work. Anyhow, well, Shailene Riggs works part-time at the elementary school. Now, I don't know if you did know that or you didn't know that. And it don't matter, y'all guys. That ain't going to be a quiz, but it's important for me to let you know right now that's what she's doing there. She's getting paid to be there, okay? She ain't a little school child. She's a full-grown adult. Anyhow, she's down there. And she was introducing the talent show. So she got that microphone plugged into that speaker, and she welcoming everybody to the talent show. And I look up there and I think in my head, that's Shailene Riggs. I know Shailene. You know, that's how I did it. Lonnie Brunwell was there. Apparently, one of his kids was going to change the oil on a dirt bike in less than 2 minutes for the talent show. But I don't know when. Like, they don't have no order of events or like a program printed out. It wasn't like that. I guess they just, I mean, you steady making adjustments to that list up until the last minute. You know, a kid get nervous and throw it up and you got to erase their name off the list. They ain't going in that talent show, you know, unless their talent was throwed up, you know, in a hallway, but it wasn't. You know, nobody signed up for throwed up talent. That's not how it works. So anyhow, I'm saying there wasn't no program that you could open up and see how it's going to be. You just sit down and you enjoy the show, and that's it. Be ready to clap, you know, whistle through your fingers if you know how to do that. So while Shailene was welcoming all the parents and kiddos, Will Dilroy, that's Candy Dilroy's brother, she caught an adult crow before, held it right there on my front porch. Them kiddos, anyhow, them Dilroy kiddos, they live in Chancellor Park, same trailer park as me. They granddaddy and they granny, that's Chet and Gracie Dilroy. They don't live in our trailer park. They live outside of town. Well, none of that matters right now. All I'm saying is that Will Dilroy runs center stage with a white garbage bag hollering, I caught a bat. Said he caught a bat. He's saying he caught a bat. Well, kids start clapping. But by the look on Shailene's face, this wasn't on her list of talents to announce. I don't think Will signed up for it anyways, and said, you know, I couldn't imagine him just going up there on the sign-up sheet and saying, yeah, my talent is catching a bat in a white garbage bag. But, buddy, he's got it, and I'm here for it. I mean, this is probably the best way to kick off a talent show. Like a 6-year-old with a captive bat. Russell was into it, too. About that time, Shailene brings a microphone to her mouth to make some kindly announcement, like if the talent show ain't really started yet, Shailene's the only one who knows that because the crowd, we into it. I'm like, boy, that little feller's got a bat on stage inside a white garbage bag, buddy. Really trapped him good. Lonnie Brunwell can do that whistle, where he sticks that 2 fingers in his mouth. He can do that finger was, setting the bar high if you're getting them whistles as the first act. Some kiddo in the crowd, I guess one of Will's buddies, says, "Let's see the bat." Sounded like a good idea to Will, too. So he opened up that garbage bag, and folks screamed, just not knowing what was happening. They just know there's something in there that's going to get out. Now, the folks that heard him holler it was a bat, I guess that's what they expected. Turns out there wasn't a bat in that garbage bag, y'all guys. Nope. They was 2 bats. I know. Oh, buddy, they wanted out of that bag as bad as kids wanted to see that bat. But you know how there's that saying, be careful what you wished for? Well, y'all kiddos want to see a bat? You want a finger whistle for a bat, Lonnie? You want to put them fingers in your mouth and whistle, "Let's see a bat"? Well, guess what? Y'all got 2 bats, and they are mad. Coming in hot. Look out for the bats, y'all guys. Look out for the bats in the cafeteria, multi-purpose room, elementary school talent show, because, boy, the event has started for sure. Folks scattered, y'all guys. Like, well, there's 2 angry bats that just got let out of a garbage bag, so that's what you do. Did I mention that Will had been swinging that bat around his head? So them bats was dizzy. So, I mean, he wasn't swinging like the bat in his hand. He was swinging the bag in his hand. The BAG got swung around, but the BATs was in the BAG, and they's dizzy. One kiddo did, in fact, throw it up. It wasn't the one that got canceled from the talent show. This is a new one, just an audience member. Just panicked, hurled right there on that elementary school floor. It's Yololeum. One kid froze like a goat and just spilt over. It's chaos, y'all. I think me and Russell felt like we was watching a TV show and not living this, because I don't even think we thought about leaving or running or none of that. We just steady watching like, what in the world? Like, if I thought 1 out of 10 this talent show was going to be a 6, but it blowed that out the water. Boy, it went off the scales. Shailene remembered she had a microphone in her hand again, and she brought that thing to her mouth and she said, "Everyone, stay calm. It's just a couple bats." Oh, okay, Shailene. In that case, y'all guys, let's calm down. I thought it was 3 bats. But in her defense, them bats wasn't after nobody. They wanted out of there as bad as we wanted them out of there. One of them hit the floor. Folks didn't know if it was dead, and janitor scooped it up in his little dustpan, and he took that thing out. I do not know if it ended up flying away or what, because I wasn't chasing the janitor out the door, but it's gone. I do know that. The other one flew away. Turns out Will found them backstage in a dark room. Bats like the dark. That's just like a fact. That's like science, buddy. And they hate talent shows. I mean, best I can tell. That's not something I knowed about until today, but I'm pretty sure just by judging by what I saw, they hate talent shows, and they probably hate being in a bag and getting swung around like that. And as you probably guessed, that act was not on the agenda. So we all had a little pre-opening act to get us all warmed up. A little icebreaker, if you will. The ice was broke. And once that janitor got back in there from taking one of them bats outside, he had a mop and a bucket with him to clean that kid's throw up. That little kid went vomit on the floor, and the janitor, boy, I'm telling you, that guy was working double time trying to keep up with everything he had to handle. I said, "What's your kiddo going to do, Russell?" And I was asking him because we were sitting there. The whole reason we had the talent show, because Russell said his kiddo was going to be in it. And he said, "Well, he just shakes his head." And I'm thinking, what's wrong? And Russell said, "He already did it." And then Russell points to the throat up. I was like, "Oh, Jesse puked right there." And he goes, "Yeah, that's Jesse's puke right there, Tabin. He's done did." And I said, "I didn't know that was Jesse." He goes, "It's because he's dressed like George Washington, Tabin." And that was a sight to behold, Russell. I ain't never seen a forefather throw it up. Jesse waddles over kind of out of it, and Russell just says, "Let's go, little buddy." And Jesse nods as he pulls off his little white wig. I figured I came here with Russell. I should probably leave with Russell. Plus, how you going to beat 2 bats in a garbage bag? I mean, set the bar real high right out the gate. Whether he knew it or not, Will Dilroy, I mean, he was really setting the standard for any future elementary school talent show, too. Like, "Oh, what's your opening act? Can you beat the Dilroy boys batting 2 bats in a bag?" Yeah, it's going to be a hard act to follow. Russell just dropped me back at the burger shed, y'all guys. I think about half the businesses and half the classes stuck around for the whole talent show. I mean, folks was shook up, so you can't just make people stick around if they want to go, especially after 2 kids have throwed up and 2 wild bats got loose in the whole auditorium thing. I think other folks didn't want to be there, so, like loose bats was a good excuse to leave, even if you wasn't scared of them or nothing. You could say, well, there's 2 bats loose, I got to go. And folks go back to work or home, wherever. Russell didn't. That's when Russell, after everything settled down, we weren't there no more. We was talking. He asked me about the softball season. And I said, what about it? And he said, are you in? Oh, buddy. Then I'm thinking about working together, putting on that burger shed shirt, putting on them cleats, the smell of dog poop in center field and hay bales over the outfield fence where Chet Dilroy trains them junior archers. Chet's got a granddaughter that can catch crows and a grandson who can catch bats. That's a talent if you ask me. Back to Russell's question, am I in? There ain't no better place I think I'd want to be other than the softball fields in late spring, early summer, friendships, fun, a very mild resemblance to exercise, and a concession stand. I don't even want to think about that yet. So yeah, Russell, I'm in. Sounds like that makes 2 of us. And that's what we call a start. So we will be kicking off the very new adult softball league season here this month, later in April. So I hope you can stick around for that. I sure am glad you joined me today on the Tab and Dillard podcast. Check them show notes for all that's going on. One thing I didn't tell you about that's about to launch on April's 25s, we have a very special edition Early Bird Gets the Perm, like a Mother's Day shirt. It's more of a blue. We got a green one, and we got a purple or pink one. Now we got a blue one, and the first 100 orders are getting an Early Bird Gets the Perm special edition sticker with it. It's a blue sticker. The artwork's blue on it. And that's going to be coming up April 25th, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. That shirt launches, and the first 100 orders get that special edition sticker with the special edition shirt. So that may be something you might want to, take out your pen and paper and write on your calendar like that away. We got a lot to look forward to, though. We got a lot to look forward to. The softball season's around the corner. We at least know me and Russell are in, and we've been talking about with the other guys if you've been kind of listening to the podcast at the end of last season. So I'm excited. And I should have more details coming up soon. And then we got games. And then it's game on. Literally, the game is on. All right, y'all guys. You know my email, tabanddillard@gmail.com. You got the phone number, 501-322-6249. I sure appreciate y'all. Y'all be in touch. Like I said, softball season's peekabooning right around the corner. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Bang, bang. And hey, if you ain't a bat in a garbage bag being an accidental first act in an elementary school talent show this week, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tab and Dillard. This is the Tab and Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.